Well, we can go back to Tolpuddle in just a second, because we can be joined there by one of the most prominent figures in the trade union movement, the RMT General Secretary, Bob Crow. And Bob Crow, very good afternoon to you. Thanks very much for being with us. I don't know whether you were listening to one of the people that we were just interviewing there. He said the battle is coming shortly and it's going to be massive. Is that your view?
Well, if you attack people's jobs, if you cut welfare benefits, if you steal people's pension off them, if you make them work longer, if you attack all the agreements that trade unionists have fought for decades before we was around, then there is going to be a wave of strikes, in my opinion.
In 1834, 6 farm workers from the tiny village of Tolpuddle in Dorset were sentenced to 7 years transportation for daring to take an oath of allegiance and form a trade union. Thousands marched in support and solidarity, and the campaign on behalf of the Tolpuddle Martyrs was successful, and they returned back home in triumph. We're just down here at Tolpuddle today, setting up for the march ahead of us, and we bumped into Fred Worth. And Fred, you've got a bit of a story, a bit of family connection down here.
Yes, I've been an RMT member 40 years, and I'm a great nephew of James Hammett, who was a Tolpuddle Martyr, who we're celebrating today.
Fantastic. And how does it make you feel today to be down here with all these people celebrating what your forebears were involved in?
Very proud. I'm here with all my family. We've got a family association, as you can see, with a T-shirt, and we formed up and we're meeting up and we're going to march in the parade later on. We're very proud.
And Fred, you're an RMT member now,
yes.
And what do you think the relevance of the Tolpuddle Martyrs is to sort of struggles that we're fighting out on the railways and transport today?
Well, without them we wouldn't have got where we are today, would we? They were the beginning. What they sacrificed, being sent to Australia and coming back, we wouldn't have our rights that we got today, because they fought for them, and that's where we got where we are today, I think.
We've got huge deficits, though. £100 billion needs to be found. How would you close that gap if it wasn't for the cuts which we're talking about now?
Well, the simple fact is the deficit wasn't caused by the trade union movement, wasn't caused by the people in this field here today.
It's there now, but we've got to fill it.
Workers. However, there's other ways of getting the deficit back. Why do we need the Trident nuclear programme and spending a further £70 billion on that? Why can't we have identification of all these people that are putting their money on offshores? Instead of running round housing estates and condemn a single mother with children, what about going to the Isle of Man and going to Jersey and get those people that are hiding their money away from putting their contributions in tax into society?
Every year, thousands of trade unionists descend on Tolpuddle in July for a 3-day festival to commemorate the brave actions of the forebears of our movement. RMT, with our brass band in full swing, always take a leading role at Tolpuddle, and this year there were more RMT banners and activists on the march than ever before. With the assault on jobs, standards of living, public services and trade union rights being thrown at us by the condemned government, this year's Tolpuddle was an important focal point for the coalition of trade union and community resistance.
I think what we're going to see now is a massive onslaught against working people to pay for the bankers' corruption and greed. And what that's going to mean basically is people are going to have their welfare benefits cut if the government gets away with it, pay freezes, have their pensions taken away from them, make them work longer, and at a time when what we should be doing is getting people off the dole queues into work. And I think myself, over the next 18 months, what we're going to see is a fight back from workers in general. And I think myself, people will start to join the trade union movement over the next year to 18 months, because they all know that the only voice that a working person's got is a trade union.
Bob, we looked around, there's lots of banners of other trade unions down here, people sort of standing together, marching together. I mean, how important is this as part of the platform building the resistance to this government?
Well, solidarity is an easy word to say. Unity is an easy word to say. You always get a round of applause when you say, we want unity, or we want solidarity. I mean, you can always have unity, just agree with the other side. But I think myself, this year, people recognise the fact that we're either going to see all of the gains that we've achieved since World War II in the form of the health service, welfare benefits, decent jobs, decent pay, decent conditions, completely eroded if this government, this coalition government, tries to enforce its hand. And I think myself that this year will demonstrate the fact that solidarity will mean, in my opinion, that if one group of workers are taking action against these austerity cuts and another union is taking action, then they should be coordinating that action and fighting back against this government.
The message is clear. It's only fighting trade unionism in the spirit of the martyrs that will see us through the battles ahead.